Hello there, this has been Fornier, Benevolent Cytocorm. Here's Proverbs 15:19 in cognitive functions. So yeah, right off the bat this sounds like other ones that seemed ISTJ to me, but it is actually using an I sort of in a way, like the way of the idle. But yeah, let's just go through all the translations that are more or less public domain, hopefully. Anyway, here we go. The ways of the idle make a bed in thorn bushes, but the ways of the vigorous are very busy. The way of the sluggard is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. Thorns are round the way of the hater of work, but the road of the hard worker becomes a highway. The way of the slacker is like a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. Being lazy is like walking in a thorn patch, but everyone who does right walks on a smooth road. The way of the slothful is a hedge of thorns, the way of the just is without offense. The way of the slothful is as a hedge of thorns, the way of the just is without offense. Wait, I just read that. What? Yeah, I did. For lazy people, life is a path overgrown with thorns and thistles. For those who do what is right, it is a smooth highway. Definitely FI there, right? Definitely. Even in the driveways on Sundays. The way of a sluggard is like a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. And there's the Greek. The path of the lazy is like a thorny hedge, but the road of decent people is an open highway. And here's the Hebrew. And the lifestyle of the lazy is like a thorny hedge, but the path taken by the upright is an open highway. The way of the slothful man is as a hedge of thorns, but the path of the righteous is made plain. The way of the slothful man is as an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. Iter pigorum quasi sepes spinarum via iasorum absque offindiculo. That would be Latin, so that would probably be pretty much exactly that. Or who knows if it would be taken more from the Greek. This is the KJV usually goes from like I forget, it's the Masoretic text, the Hebrew versus I think they vary sometimes, but it's mostly the Masoretic text, while the other ones tend to do the Septuagint, which is sometimes a little off compared to that. But yeah, ways of the idle make a bed in thorn bushes, but the ways of the vigorous, not righteous but vigorous, it says here, are very busy, a rut or one track. So, like how you walk down a dirt path, or like walk in the grass and you make a path there kind of thing. That's how that's more like, I think. Whereas this is more about calling it moral uprightness to be a busy bee kind of thing, I guess. It's sort of, I'm not entirely certain, but yeah, they're saying that's righteous. So, straight, convenient, equity, just, meet, pleased, well, right, yeah. But it's a different word for righteous than the other one, I think, which is Zodic something, right? But this is a different word for that, but yeah, either way. And there's Russian. At some point I mean to study Russian, but yeah, the way of the sluggard, let's see, I was here last, right? And that's just of the just is without offense or something like that. So I'm interesting. I may have that wrong. The way of the slothful is as a hedge of briars, and the path of the upright is raised up, or at least, so walking along it, there's more stuff because it hasn't been moved out of the way, sort of, I guess. The way of the sluggard is like a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is like a highway. The Russian synodal text usually goes with, for the Old Testament, the Septuagint, so I think I have it here already when I was going through Ecclesiastes. So that's an interesting thing that, and it's a little bit different because I have how I have the fonts increased too much, so it could be more visible if anyone bothered watching my stuff on mobile. Anyway, whatever though. At some point I'll study Russian more. I'm gonna try, but I need to focus on writing too. But yeah, let's see. That would be P double O T. That's not soft sign, is it? So yeah, that's way. Yeah, way, and that's probably the word for righteous, or no, way of sluggard. Righteous would be somewhere around there. Yeah, way, and that would be the word for righteous, probably P-R-A-V, prav, or at least like this word for righteous, upright, or busy. So P-R-A-V, prav, and that's Y-E, pravyed, D-N. Now that's a soft sign, right? And X is H. Pravyed. D. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, so the way of the sluggard is as an hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is made an highway. Well, they really love having that always before H type of rule there, which sounds outdated now, doesn't it? But the way of the sluggard is an hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is made on highway. Oh well, it's linguistically correct for at least that era. El camino del perezoso es como seto de espinos. So that would be set with spines, the thorns. Espinos would probably be thorns, right? Yeah, briar thorn, at least the Hebrew. They translated into that from, well, it's a translation of the revised version in the 1700s at least. Mas la vereda, more the vereda, more the road de los rectos, correct, the right, como un calzada. Calzada would be, let's see, make plain, that's the highway thing. The way of the slacker is a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. The way of the sluggard is like a thorn patch, but the path of the upright is a highway. The way of the slothful man is as a hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. Yeah, it's kind of obvious, and I probably seem like a sluggard myself, especially while avoiding more W-2 work, but you know, there's more work than just W-2 work. Having to swear fealty to someone who underpays you and gives you loads of extra work and pretends to own every moment of your life and every word you say, that's not right. You can still work without having to be like, yes, I signed my life away to this employer again, until you feel like throwing me away without notice again. Yeah, how about I can grow food, I can do housework, I can make a few thousand videos in a few months and get no notice for it. Yay. But yeah, you have to sign up, swear fealty, be like, I will be your errand runner, woo. But yeah. Yeah, anyway, onward to the socionics part, guessing with that. So, see you in the next section. What you wanna never be. Okay, so for this part, the way that it is using the word ways can sort of seem like an NI thing. It sounds almost metaphoricalish there, but in a sense it's also very concrete, especially like how this is, at least for the Greek translation, the Septuagint of the other one, it's how it's made plain, like you walk along a path of grass and eventually it gets worn out. But yeah, but for places that aren't traveled to yet, because you don't do it as a routine, it's going to be overgrown still. But yeah, for those that keep walking and wearing out a pathway, you're going to run it down and it'll be a highway through the grass, and probably easier to see snakes and other creatures. But because that's how grass moves out of the way, you destroy the grass along the pathway by constant traffic through it. But yeah, it's definitely FI. So at the very least FI. And though it can seem NI-ish, it's, I believe, SI. Like, my first guess right off the bat is ISTJ, just another way of saying the same thing about sluggards. Like, this is like Solomon era boomer mindset kind of thing. It's like, you're not being diligent enough for me. But, there's always that in every generation, especially those that have workers that they expect to do everything while they do next to nothing themselves. So my guess is it's going to be SI and FI and ISTJ. If it is NI, though, it would be secondarily INTJ, but I would venture it's going to be the same ISTJ that said the same thing in 20 different ways before. So I don't know which person in Solomon's Council would be that. I'd need to reread like Kings and Samuel. I bet. Wait. Yeah, it would be either 2 Samuel or early portion of 1 Kings. I think that's mostly where Solomon was listed there. But yeah, either way, ISTJ probably. Like I don't know if it would be Abner or. Your guess is as good as mine if you've read it recently. Well, probably better than mine if you've read that portion of the Bible more recently. I should, though. But, yeah. Anyway, for now, here's my guess. ISTJ. Yay. Take care, everyone, and try not to go crazy.